It's Randy Orton. Oh,
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Beatle890 here, and today I'm coming at you with my kind of thoughts on Goldberg returning and coming back to the WWE after about, was it 12 years now? You know, it's a topic of debate that I think is, you know, there's got a lot of opinions. You know, it's a very, you know, people have their opinions on this, like with anything really in wrestling. But what are my kind of thoughts on this? Well, first, how about let's get started on the actual return, because obviously Goldberg returned, showed up on Raw, you know, this week, and you know what? I mean, the actual kind of segment I thought was fine. You know, I thought Goldberg did. It was pretty. It was, you know, it was cool to see Goldberg back in a WWE ring. You know, cut a promo. You know, that was fine. I didn't have a problem with that at all. I thought it was, you know, a pretty solid promo. It wasn't like an amazing, like, oh god, yeah, this was amazing, but it was a promo that was fine. You know, it did what it needed to do, I guess. But if I'm being honest, when it comes to actual like long term, like seeing Goldberg in a match, or you know, there might even be a couple, but I'm personally not that excited to see Goldberg wrestle in a match, you know, against Brock Lesnar at, I assume, Survivor Series. And the reason is, it's just, you know, Goldberg is someone who is quite old for a wrestler, you know. I think he's nearly, was it 50? And, you know, Brock Lesnar, in terms of his in-ring work this year, it's not been that great, and he's had some, you know, some very good opponents. You know, obviously he's had Ambrose, you know, Orton, you know, and you know, and he was involved in a good triple threat at Fastlane. But you know, Lesnar's someone who's not really had, you know, this year for him hasn't been great for match quality. Now it's partly to do with the booking of matches. I do think that, but you know. And also, you got, I mean, and I understand, like, you know, the situation is different, but it's 12 years, you know, later, you know, like, for Goldberg, he's going to be a lot slower, a lot more, he's just not going to have, he's not going to be what he was in, say, 2004. And, you know, a lot of people doubt Goldberg's in-ring ability anyway, so imagine what he's like now. But I just think, you know, it didn't work at WrestleMania 20, and I know the situation, like, both guys are on the way out. I just don't think it's going to be that much better. Like, I understand that, you know, I guess both guys would probably be more motivated than they were 12 years ago, but I just think with Goldberg's age, it's really not gonna. The match won't be that great, I don't think, and it's not as if we're gonna get like a. It's not as if the match is gonna go really, really long. You know, Goldberg matches usually don't tend to go that long, so you know, I'm not that excited for it because I just don't think the match will be that good. You know, I mean, Goldberg's just someone who, you know, I guess if they'd given. I mean, because I know a lot of people have wanted to see the rematch between Lesnar and Goldberg, but I'm sorry, I just think it's too late, really. And you know, it's just one of the things where it's just not going to live up to. I just don't see it living up to people's expectations. You know, you've got, you know, so many people, and to be fair, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. It's not as if I think, oh god, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it does. It makes sense. Like, Goldberg is a big name, whether people like it or not. He's a big name, you know, and apparently, you know, when they released that DVD about him a few years ago, apparently it sold really well. So obviously people still really like Goldberg, and he's still very popular. So you know, it makes sense, like from a financial standpoint. Like, they'll make a lot of money from that Survivor Series pay-per-view. You know, I think it might actually bring a lot of people back as well. Maybe, like, you know, people who watch WCW or some of the older, you know, WWE stuff. Maybe people who, you know, really were fans of Goldberg but have gone off wrestling since. This may bring them back potentially, which, you know, in that sense is good. And I guess, you know, also promoting the WWE 2K16 video game. You know, he's obviously the cover guy for that. And you know, the people who've been involved in the game, you know, last year, Sting, he did some work, and the Ultimate Warrior, I know he didn't have a match, but you know, he obviously got into the Hall of Fame and that sort of thing, so it's kind of a given that Goldberg would be involved in something, and I understand why they're doing it. I just, personally, for me, it's just not something I'm excited for. As I said, I just think the match is just not going to be that good. I mean, people say, oh, it'll be better than their WrestleMania 20 match. I'm like, well, yeah, that's not That's easy. Like that's not exactly a hard task. It was a terrible match. I do worry just how quality will be, as you know, Lesnar doesn't seem as if he's been having as great of matches as he could, you know, with some of the great opponents he's been given this year. And Goldberg's just age, I think, and he's been gone, you know, from the WWE for 12 years. And I mean, again, I'm not sure whether or not he's actually wrestled, you know, after WrestleMania 20. I don't think he has, but he may have done. But you know, I'm just not that optimistic really for the match. And you know what? I'm sure maybe the build for it will be quite good, but I just think in reality. And I know, as I said, I know I'm in the minority. I'm sure a lot of people are really excited to see Goldberg return, and they really want to see him and Lesnar go at it one more time. But you know, it's just not something that excites me, and I think it could really, really. And I don't want to say this because you know, it makes me seem like, oh, I hate Goldberg. And in all honesty, I don't hate Goldberg. Goldberg is someone who I think the character of Goldberg is actually a very good one. Like, it worked really, really well in WCW. He was so over, monster over, and he was a huge, huge star in WCW. I mean, his WWE run, I mean, it was definitely frustrating at times. You know, I mean, he did get the world title, but it was just frustrating booking at times. You know, like at SummerSlam 03 when he didn't win the world title and that sort of thing. And you know, some of the stuff he was involved in was a bit head scratching, but. You know, I mean, as I said, he's a big name, and I guess, you know, a lot of people will want to see him back in the ring. As I said, I'm not that excited for it, but, you know, anyway. I assume it's happening at Survivor Series, and you know what, as I said, it will generate a lot of pay-per-view buys, a lot of people will tune in to watch it. Because even people who don't want to watch it, like myself, I think we're still curious, you know, to see whether Goldberg actually has got it or not. So in that sense, I guess it's going to be it's going to be good for business, but I just think from an in-ring standpoint, I think when people watch it, they'll be kind of like, oh, that was very disappointing. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on this topic. Let me know what you think down below. Like the video, comment below. Subscribe to my second channel, follow me on Twitter and Ask.fm. And once again, thanks for watching, guys.